We have Strategic Resource Group founder Burt Flickinger. Burt, great to see you.
Great to team up, Josh.
So, Burt, I was thinking that you are the perfect guy actually to have today because it's just this flood of retail reports. Start big picture, Burt. I mean, when you look through these reports, you were listening on the conference calls, high level, what were some of your big takeaways?
High level, Josh, if it's necessary, if it's food, it's a winner. Kroger, Costco. If it's unnecessary, Best Buy, wearables, department stores, Target disaster, off-price struggling. So Best Buy really struggling. So Best Buy Kohl's deeply disappointing, as you and your team have reported today. So consumers, 70% living paycheck to paycheck, family of 5, costs $9,000 more this year than a few years. And the smart shoppers, Josh, watching you in Yahoo Finance, they're not going to spend for Black Friday to New Year's Day. They're going to wait till next year because desperation discounting will be the best bargains in history. So just get gift cards this Christmas, feed the family food for the Thanksgiving table, and wait for all the retailers to start price wars of unprecedented proportions next year.
So is it on the consumer then, you look through these reports, Burt, and you saw, again, this kind of discerning consumer, a bifurcated consumer?
Bifurcated, Josh, so consumers where both heads of households are working, or people have a white-collar job doing well. If people have a blue-collar job or fixed and limited income, they're struggling.
Wow. Because I know the optimists were saying, Burt, listen, they looked at the consumer and said, low jobless claims, strong wage growth. I mean, you see what the stock market's doing, but you look at these reports and say what we see is a bifurcated consumer landscape.
Bifurcated, Josh, and I agree with you and Julie in your great interview with Bob Dull a few minutes ago. That this is really a risky market. It's very heavily valued, whether it's for pension plans or personal savings. So we had Dave Rinaldo, president of Aldi USA, speak at the Private Label Manufacturers Association in Chicago a few days ago. Everybody's moving to private labels, save more, better quality, higher standard of living. You got Smucker's reporting tomorrow. I think that's going to be tough times, and what they're going to talk about, as with all the big CPG companies, that people are spending, but they're spending less to get more value.
Interesting. When you looked at these reports, Burt, what did you learn about that just all-important holiday shopping season coming up here?
The big thing, Josh, is for the first time, customer counts for the store-based retailers are declining significantly, with the exception of American Express Small Business Saturday. So everybody's moving to shopping online. Why is that important? One, because movie theater sales are down about 30%, so over $1 billion because of the poor quality of Hollywood releases this year. But the second, my alma mater, PricewaterhouseCoopers, put out a survey, up to 25% of people are still afraid to shop at stores, and we do a lot of...
Why are they afraid to shop at stores?
Cover story, Bloomberg and Time Magazine, Tampa Bay Times. Walmart tends to use 911 for security, so they have...
So they're worried about crime?
Yeah. Crime, and Target and Kroger and Costco have fantastic public safety in their stores, great places to shop. And there's going to be a real requiem, as my colleague Henry Millay reported earlier today. Taylor Swift's book is being released exclusively at Target on Black Friday. So that's going to turn the tide away from massive record-breaking customer accounts at Walmart and start a real retail renaissance for Target with the Swifties and the Taylor Swift fans.
Is crime more of an issue in certain regions of this country than others for retailers?
Josh, we've seen the numbers for the top 250 crime districts in the country. Almost all of them, the center of gravity is Walmart. And we don't go looking for it, but we do a lot of retail expert operational stuff. And some of these tragedies of horrific crimes that are unspeakable at Walmart are completely out of control, and it tends to be unique to Walmart.
Let me ask you about another big theme. Obviously, we talked about it today. Trump was making headlines, new pledges on tariffs. Broadly, Burt, how do you see tariffs impacting the American retail industry?
I agree with you and Bob Dowell. Short-term, unprecedented pain. Longer term, as U.S. tariffs come down or more in balance, Europe, the tariffs are 200% higher, Japan 150% higher, India 500% higher. As we get China about 150 to 200%. Josh, as we get those tariffs back in balance, the consumer 3 or 4 years out, we'll see lower prices, but short-term higher, and it's the toughest time for higher tariffs and shopper paying a higher price premium, especially on branded goods.
Are there certain retailers, Burt, that you think are better positioned to weather that near intermediate term than others?
Yeah, Kroger, because they source domestically and have 35 of their own manufacturing plants. Albertsons the same, Costco's the same, BJ's is the same. Relatively immune from tariffs. Walmart, for their non-consumables, up to 80% comes from offshore. So with the higher shipping costs, higher tariffs. Walmart, Best Buy, the leading department store chains and the specialty store chains will have a tougher time. But as you reported earlier, great numbers from Urban. So when you have great leadership and great branding, great operations, great customer service like Urban, you're going to win every time, as does Costco, as does Kroger, as does Winco, as does BJ's Wholesale Club.
Last question, Burt. You know, with some retailers reporting today, it was interesting you did hear the election get brought up. I mean, is that a real thing? Like the election caused uncertainty and caused people to pause on a purchase?
It did cause people to pause, Josh.
It's true. Yeah. It's not just an excuse. That's a
no,
real thing.
and we were in stores all over Chicago, from the south side, the lowest income, fixed and limited income, to the wealthiest suburbs in the country. And even in the newest state-of-the-art Amazon stores, pretty much empty, and people were browsing, not buying.
Interesting. Burt, we're always lucky to have you on the show.
Yeah, always team up.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.